Father, thank you so much for this opportunity just to be together and to be able to worship you in this place. Thank you that you're here, and that you're going to do something awesome. I pray that the speakers today, as they share your word, I pray that you would empower them and give them courage. I pray they speak through them and speak to them, Lord. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Alright, well, before I came to TKA, this is my 7th school, so I lived all over the place, but the last place I was at was in Idaho, and it wasn't the greatest place ever, so I'm kind of glad we moved down here to Florida. What I didn't like about Idaho is actually everything. I hated Idaho. Idaho was the worst place I've ever lived. I just didn't get along with the kids out there, and we didn't have the same interests and hobbies. So one day I knew my dad was, we were moving no matter what because it was coming up to my junior or senior year and they wanted me to go somewhere I wanted to go. So I knew we were going to be moving somewhere. At first I thought it was California. And then they told me that they've been talking to Coach Allen, which we've known since San Jose, since I was like 3 years old. And they told me that we were moving down here to the Kings Academy, West Palm Beach. And that it's a private school that I'll be going to, so I was pretty excited. The transition was fairly easy. It was simple. We just packed up the moving truck. I didn't even have to. I was in Minnesota the whole time, and we moved down. But just like any other move, there was always that one person that's always been there for me, and that's my little sister Maddie. And she's always been there and been my best friend through all the moves. But other than that, it was fairly easy. The first day of school, I didn't really talk to anyone until my boy Nixon and Will showed up to school, and then things started rolling, and it's been great ever since. If I didn't come to Kings, I don't know what I would be doing right now. I probably wouldn't have any motivation to do anything, pretty much, because in Idaho I was really lazy, and if Kings really changed me and make me motivated to do more stuff and be creative and think outside the box more instead of just going with society. The advice I would give to any underclassmen is to get out, do as much as you can, play sports, enjoy your high school time because it's going to get real hard soon. And so just do the most you can in high school, be the most active, just enjoy life while you can. Well, I mean, you will enjoy life, but.
What's going on? Hello, everybody.
Hey, Will, what's good, TKA?
I have been at TKA since 8th grade, so 5 years.
I've been here for 14 years.
Since 6th grade, so I think that's like 7.
6 years. I came here last year.
Oh gosh, wait. 11. I've been at the Kings Academy for 11 years.
I've been here 5 years.
4.5.
Probably all my friends, especially the close ones I've made over the past 6 years.
The athletics and the students here. So many people that when I run track and field, they're not just like always competing with each other, but they're also competing for each other and always trying to cheer each other on to get new records and try new things. I think that's been the thing I miss the most.
You said it on 3, right?
The soccer team.
If you don't say me, oh my gosh.
No, you're not gonna be here. Oh my gosh.
Probably Coach Norton,
Coach
out of
Norton.
everyone, yeah.
For sure.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Go Vols.
I would say Miss Lopez because she's always pushed me to be a better dancer in person, and she's such an inspiration and has taught me so much.
Probably Coach Allen.
Yeah, I agree with that. Coach Allen impacted my life because he was our coach and a teacher, and he's just really has been a good influence for me and Brody, I believe.
Teacher would probably be Miss Dawson, just because she's like been there for me, and just like a good role model. And student would probably be Kaylee Cato, because she just challenges me constantly in my faith.
Ladies first.
Mr. Heather, because he always told the best stories and challenged us in our faith.
And I'd probably say Mrs. G Sizzle, because we have a lot of fun in that class and barely get anything done, but somehow we're still about to take the exam, so it's fine.
Just everything, hanging out with friends, lifelong friends that I've come to make.
Friday night football games have been a mainstay for me, and just playing sports, whether it's football, baseball, or track, it's been a really good experience for me, and I'm not going to forget it.
Probably the Puerto Rico trip in sophomore year. That was pretty fun. I got to do a lot of cool things and like help out there. Made me feel good inside.
When I put mustard and ketchup on a meatball sub because I thought it was a hot dog, and the senior retreat and the New York trip.
SCA camp. SCA camp. We was lit.
Well, next year my plan is to attend Palm Beach Atlantic University and study business and finance.
I plan on attending Penn State in the fall, and I'm going to major in biomedical engineering. Hopefully in the future working in a hospital, building prosthetics for injured war veterans.
I'm going to Florida Atlantic University, and I'm going to do law or pre-med, so I don't know which one yet.
I'm going to Liberty University in Virginia, and I'm planning to major in nursing.
I'm going to FAU, salute the hoop, and I'm majoring in pre-med and minoring in dance.
I'm going back home to New York. I'm going to NYU next year. I'm doing communications, and it's a pretty broad major, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do after yet.
They say that the class of 2017 is the greatest class to come out of the King's Academy, and I firmly believe it. So, and with the class of 2017, it's just everyone's nice, everyone's friendly, everyone is willing to help you, and it's just been a great impact on my life every time.
They've impacted me just because they've challenged me just to be who I am and not cower behind this image that people want you to be, and just be true to who you are.
Everything that I've done has been for the class of 2017. They've impacted me in so many ways I can't even imagine. From just making me try new things to me wanting to grow better in the things that I do already. I can't describe what they've all done for me and what I hope to do for them as well.
It's just taught me a lot about getting to know people and putting yourself out there and just meeting new people, and I don't know, we have a really strong class.
Same thing, said all.
It's a really special class. They've really opened me up because I used to be really shy back in 6th grade, and they really helped open me up, and I have really awesome friends now, and definitely gonna keep in touch with all of them, and they just impacted my life in a very positive way.
The class of 2017 has impacted me because I feel like they've helped me grow my character. I feel like I've grown as a person since I came here in 8th grade till now.
The class of 2017 has really impacted my life because when I first came to King's, they really accepted me as a family, and just the person that I've become, I think, is accredited to what they've done in my life.
They've taught me how to become myself more and more every day, and they've just been great people all around, and I'm going to miss them a lot.
I love my class, and just growing up with them for all the years I've been here is so cool to see how the relationships have grown and who I've become friends with throughout the years.
Well, I've changed a lot. I learned to be more confident and to just value what I have and just believe in myself. That was really good to have good people around me, teaching me and just helping me with everything that I needed.
Because we lit.
Hey. 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 Yeah. Hey. 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 Hey.
Real brief, I'm not talking, so I'm just going to pray to get us started. But we have 3 students that are going to share with us in the video, similar to what we just did. And they're going to share a little bit about what Kings has meant in their walk, in their relationship with God, and just kind of life in general. So I'm going to go ahead and pray, and then these students have worked really hard to show them some love. When they come up here, it's not an easy thing to do. So let's pray. We'll go ahead and get started. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for an opportunity to look back on some of the students' time at TKA, and thank you for your goodness. We're filled with gratitude. We're filled with nervousness, I'm sure, excitement as well, as we look towards the next chapter. I pray that you would allow us to look on your work throughout these 3 students' lives and look at your provision for them. We give you this time and ask that you would use it mightily. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Please welcome Grace.
I'm going to tell you guys a story. I'm just walking you guys through my senior year and the struggles and
of trials that have just really come my way, and I hope you guys will be encouraged. But to be honest, I'm really nervous. It's really nerve-wracking in front of all you guys. Way back in September, Mr. Kimball told us that we had to speak in Mason and Victoria. And so I tried to get out, and I was really nervous, but he wouldn't let me, and he's even making me go first, so thanks. But on a more serious note, this morning isn't just about my story or Mason's or Victoria's. It's about what God has done and through our stories, and so I hope you guys will just be encouraged as we share. So to begin, back in August, before school even started, Mr. and Mrs. Kimball and Miss Dawson took the prefects on a retreat, and every night we had a devotion time, and Mr. Kimball took us through the first few verses of Joshua. And one verse that really stuck out to me is Joshua 1:9, and it says this: "Do not be afraid, be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Now, I need you guys just to kind of keep that verse in mind for right now, because it's really important later. So back when I was in 8th grade, I made varsity soccer, and there was one day that I really looked forward to, and it was my senior night. And I always tried to imagine what it would be like, who the seniors would be, and what the team would do for us seniors, and who we would play, the score, everything that goes into it. So when my senior night actually finally came, I was really excited. I had grown up with these girls, and I was really excited to share this night with them. But in life, many of us plan certain things, or at least hope that they turn out a certain way. But they don't usually turn out that way. That's just how life works. And that's exactly what happened to me on my senior night. So fast forward a little bit. So there's about 10 minutes left in the game. Okay, so I'm up top trying to score. I play defense, and so I don't usually get that opportunity, but those of you who know me know that I'm not very good at scoring or anything like that. I'm definitely way better at defense. But anyways, I was up top, and as I received the ball, the girl I was up against, she completely just shoved me, and my leg bent completely backwards, how it's not supposed to, and I could just feel my knee just completely tear. I felt so much pain that any of you who were there that night, I'm sure you guys can't unhear my scream, or any of you guys who watched it on YouTube, because it's on YouTube. And so I'm sorry about that, but I ended up tearing my ACL, my MCL, and my meniscus, and I bruised my tibia. And I have a picture of what your knee is supposed to be like. And then I have some facts for you so you guys understand what your knee is actually like when it's not completely destroyed. So there are 4 main ligaments, and you need to help keep it stable. And the first 2 are collateral ligaments. They're commonly known as the LCL and the MCL. The LCL is on the outside of your knee, and the MCL is on the inside. And these 2 ligaments help your sideways motions in your knee, and they help brace your knee for any unusual motions that it may make. The other 2 are cruciate ligaments, known as the ACL and the PCL. They're the ones in the middle. They're not labeled, but the ones that kind of cross each other to make an X. The ACL is the one in the front, the PCL is the one in the back, and they control the back and forth motions of your knee. And so, any of you that were there the night that I was hurt, you know that I would not move my knee. It was just kind of stuck in one position, and nobody was touching it, not even Mr. Hamilton. And even the pressure of ice on it hurt really, really bad. So the next thing, I bruised my tibia. The tibia is the big weight-bearing bone down the bottom. And so it's just like any other time when you have a bruise, when you touch it, it hurts. And so mine, I had a ginormous bruise on my bone, and so when I would put any pressure on it, it would really hurt. And then the last thing that I did, for my meniscus, the one that's just kind of laying on top of the tibia, it's there to help cushion and stabilize the joints in your knee. So out of these, you have your LCL, your ACL, PCL, MCL, and your meniscus. I tore 3 out of those 5 things. So if I was taking an AP exam, I would pass because I got a 3 out of 5. So needless to say, that was like the most pain that I've ever experienced. And because of this, I couldn't finish my season, and I couldn't play districts for the last time in high school. So that was really upsetting. And I couldn't play lacrosse at all. And something that I do like on my own, I play beach soccer in the summer, and it's something that I really look forward to. And now I can't do that, and so it's really sad. But also, like, I couldn't do many simple things that all of us do every single day without even thinking about it. Like, this morning you guys woke up and got out of bed just fine, and you got to school and you walked to your class, and you even climbed up the stairs to sit down for chapel today. I couldn't do any of that on my own. And then later when I started to get better, I couldn't do any of it without the assistance of crutches and the huge brace that was really uncomfortable. But it really made me realize the things that I took for granted in life. And, you know, sometimes in life hardships, they really make us rethink the basic things, which isn't always a bad thing. And so moving on, I couldn't have surgery unless I got my legs straight. So I had to go to physical therapy for weeks in order to be able to get my legs straight. If any of you have gone to Athlete's Advantage with Ed Smith, you know that that is a challenge within itself. But I had to work really, really hard because I had no choice but to do well because I had to get surgery. But the idea that was in my head was I had to work well just to get surgery, just to do it all over again. And so, to like kind of put it in perspective, you can think about it this way. Like, if you're running a race and you have to do really, really well because you have to, and you see the finish line, except your finish line is just another starting line. And once you reach that point, you're going to have to do it all over again. And this next time it's going to be even harder, and it's going to be a lot more painful. It's not really exactly motivation to work hard. And I also had the thought of getting surgery just constantly running through my mind because before this time I'd never had surgery, and so I didn't know what to expect. You know, like one of our greatest fears is the fear of the unknown, and so I didn't know what to expect, and I was terrified. And my life wasn't in my control. It was in the surgeons and all the doctors and nurses there. I had no control. I was just laying unconscious on a table. And so that part of it was also really scary. And I had already experienced so much pain. I didn't want to do it again. Like, who would want to go through that again? And so every night I really just had to repeat to myself the verse that I told you guys before, Joshua 1:9. To not be afraid, but to instead be strong and courageous, because I knew that everyone around me was watching me, and I knew that they were paying attention to see how I would handle everything, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I described to you guys earlier how it challenged me physically, and I couldn't do anything on my own. And for me, that was really tough because I'm an independent person, and I like to know that I can do things for myself. But all of a sudden, I couldn't do anything for myself. I had to rely on everyone around me for every little thing. So that was really hard. And mentally, I had to overcome the fact that, as I told you before, I had to work really hard just to like do it all over again. I didn't want to. I didn't want to say yes to having to do it. And another difficult part of it was right before I had surgery, I could walk pretty well, even like without crutches. And so I thought in my head, oh, but this is my finish line. And then I had to think to myself, it's just your next starting line. And so that was another difficult thing to deal with. And then spiritually, I struggled with so many questions. But, you know, mainly just the question of why. You know, like, why would this happen to me? Why did it have to happen to me? And why on my senior night? Like, this was the night that I looked forward to ever since I was in 8th grade. And I just wanted it to uphold to my expectations. And we had a game 2 days after that, so like, why couldn't it happen that day? And so, you know, I still don't have answers to all my questions, but I have somewhat of an idea. idea. God gave me perspective on my situation and how it can be used in the future. After we graduate, I plan on going to school for occupational therapy and specializing with children. And so it would be like really comforting to them to be able to tell them that I've gone through something really hard where I had to depend on people, because there are many kids who have to depend on other people to help them with just their simple daily tasks. So it would be really comforting. I know when I confide in someone about something and I know that they've gone through the same thing or that they've gone through something similar, it establishes a trust. And so that would be a good positive to my situation. And there's always a reason for the things that happen to us, even if you can't see or know what the reason is right away. I have a verse for you guys that expresses that idea kind of a bit more. 1 Peter 5:6-10 says this: "So humble yourselves under the mighty power of God, for he cares for you. Stay alert and watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Stand firm against him and be strong in your faith. In his kindness, God calls you to share in his eternal glory by means of Christ Jesus." And now the next part is, for my story, the most important part, so really pay attention, okay? "So after you have suffered a little while, he will restore, support, and strengthen you, and he will place you on a firm foundation." Now, no matter what we go through in life, God always promises to restore, support, and he will strengthen us. And even with our unanswered questions, I've experienced God restoring, supporting, and strengthening me this year, and I know that he will do the same for all of you. And I know that the God who was there with me in the valley brought me through every single struggle that I've faced, and he took me through my injury and enabled me to see how it can and how it will be used in the future. And I know that God is capable of doing the same for all of you. So, thank you. Hello, my friends. How's everyone doing today? My name's Victoria Kalu, and today I'm going to be sharing with you something that God put on my heart about just having courage every day with each situation that we are put in. So before I get into my message, I just want to share a quote or a verse with you guys. It's 1 Corinthians 10:13. "No testing has overtaken you that is not common to everyone. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tested beyond your strength. But with the testing, he will also provide the way out so that you may be able to endure it." So we're all human, at least I'm pretty sure we're all human. And because of our humanity, we experience trials and tribulations, and it can be very difficult to get over that. It can be anything. It can be a temptation, it can be a disaster like what Grace just described, it can be just anything that's overwhelming, that's completely unplanned and like you're not expecting it. And it can feel like more than you can handle. Grace just shared about her tragedy this year and how she was able to overcome that. And disappointments like that are actually really common throughout life. The pressure and stress of any situation can be extremely difficult. It's basically like everything's being pressurized in a pressure cooker, and eventually it just explodes. So we are basically this pressure cooker. We have all these emotions that are just being built up with every event that we go through, like frustration, anger, sadness, grief, anything, you name it. I can't name all of them. And eventually it just gets to the point where we just explode. We can't deal with it anymore. And many times we feel like we're the only ones going through something difficult, that everyone else has their life together, everyone else is perfect, everyone else is the perfect student, the perfect athlete, the perfect musician, the perfect academic, whatever, you name it. And that's not the case. God places special people in our lives who help us with the loss and emotional roller coaster that we go through. We don't know what else to do, so we just kind of sit down and ride it through and just kind kind of scream internally because we don't know how else to cope with the situations we're in. And I was in a really bad car accident my sophomore year with my dad and my grandmother. And it was really bad. I wasn't expecting that, obviously. I was on my way to school for a choir run out, and then suddenly we're in a smoking car. And my grandmother, unfortunately, 1 month after, passed away because of how fatal her injuries were. And that was really hard for me to deal with because both of my grandmothers, they've lived with me since the day I was born. I can't remember a day that they weren't there. They lived with my parents and myself. And to have someone that you know is always there, that you always count on, that they've taught you so many lessons, so many values that you treasure, and then they're suddenly gone, it's heartbreaking. I was really depressed and sad and devastated. I felt extremely broken and discouraged when it happened, and without my faith, without my family, without my friends, I would not have been able to overcome the depression and the sadness and the grief that I was feeling. Sometimes at our most vulnerable times, our most low times in our lives, God places the most compassionate people to help us work through whatever situation we're going through, whatever problem that we're dealing with. And many times we make stronger bonds with our loved ones as we're experiencing these things. As we come together for more strength, more support, and during these times of brokenness, like you just need someone to lean on. You just need someone to talk to let out your emotions and just talk to them about what you're feeling, and then they can help you. They can offer comfort to you. And in order for us to grow closer and to become more like a family, we need to break down that castle. And I know you're probably like, I don't see a castle anywhere. We all have a castle built around us, composed of bricks of fear and insecurity that we just add brick by brick by brick by brick all around us until we're completely surrounded by our fear and insecurity, and we're completely closed off from everyone. We don't really let anyone know how we're feeling. We're just kind of bottling it up until eventually you just explode. And if we don't break down that castle, we're going to miss out on the many friendships that can be made with the other people around us who are probably experiencing the same thing that you're experiencing, or have experienced something very similar to what you've experienced. We all at some point experience something that's so hard, so difficult to manage that it just feels like it can't get any worse than that. Just know that no one's perfect. No one's perfect except for God, obviously. And that no one's life is just, it may seem like it's perfect from the outside, but there's always something else that's there, that's underlying. Experiencing struggles and failures is what allows us to exist. It's what allows us to work with God, what allows us to learn from God, what allows us to trust in God through these mishaps. This is what real living is all about. Real living is all about learning from God and trusting in Him through every step of the way. And I know that's really hard to do, but it's what we need to do. And all of these trials and tribulations happen, and it feels like it could only get worse. God will never give us more than we can handle. And I know that sounds really crazy for me to say, because there are a lot of crazy things that happen to each of us and to all those around the world. But God will never give us more than we can handle because He is with us every single step of the way. He is with us at the highs, He's with us at the lows, He's with us at the ugly, He's with us with the pretty, He's with us through every single step of the way. When we fall, He catches us and He nurtures us. When we cry, He comforts us and He wraps His arms around us. And I've learned that we bring our unexceptional problems that we've all experienced, to an exceptional God who is all-powerful, who is all-knowing, who is omniscient, who is always there every second. He's probably right next to you right now. And he's always there every single step of the way with you. And that's basically what the story of the gospel is. It's God always doing something bigger. And he's capable of restoring really broken people, really broken events, really broken situations, and making something beautiful out of nothing. I mean, he created us out of dust. Just think about that. He can take anything and make it beautiful. And he loves us infinitely and unconditionally. And this love transcends time, it transcends the obstacles, it transcends the trials and the tribulations that are placed in our path. Even at our lowest times, when we feel like there's no way that I'm going to be able to overcome this, God will provide a solution. He will make a path for us to get out of whatever problem that we're in. And he's faithful to us. He will never leave us nor forsake us, no matter what we do, what we say. He will always be there. So remember that no matter how hard life gets and how difficult the situation is, how bleak it may seem, how you may think like there's no way on earth I'm getting out of this thing, God will never give you more than you can handle, because he will never leave you to handle the situation on your own. He will be with you every single step of the way. And throughout my time here at TKA, I experienced God's provision through my friendships that I've made, many of which did not come easily, but they've been a blessing to me. They've been that comfort to me that I've needed in my times of struggle, such as losing my grandmother and the car accident. And it's possible to go through your time here at King's without making those friendships, by just staying safe in your castle of fear and insecurity and not putting yourself out there, not becoming vulnerable and open to those around you, not taking away those bricks, and just getting to know the person next to you. And you'll miss out on the camaraderie that you're going to feel between your peers and the friendships that you can make. So the challenge that I'm leaving with you today is to put yourself out there sometimes and break down that castle that you've built around you, because you never know. You never know who God will place in your life. You could be the best friend that you're going to call 10 years from now and be like, my tire is blown out, could you come pick me up from here? You never know who God will place in your life. So break down that wall and see what God can do for you.
All right, hey, let's go. Anyone sleeping? Wake them up. Let's go! All right. Hey guys, so my name is Mason. For you guys don't know, so I'm just going to move around a lot. All right, let's go. My name is Mason. I'm currently a spiritual life prefect right now, at least until today and tomorrow. And then sorry guys, dear seniors, let's go. All right. Today I want to share with you guys one of my favorite Bible stories. Right? It comes from John 11. It's the story of Lazarus, right? And so my story, it really ties in a lot with what Grace and Victoria had already said. So to fill y'all in a little bit, Lazarus, he was a man who was very close to Jesus, right? In his ministry. And he was the brother to Mary and Martha. And this Mary, this was the same woman who found herself actually anointing Jesus' feet with perfume. And she actually took her hair and wiped his feet with her hair. And so ladies, I don't want to see you like in hallways, like wiping guys' feet. Like that's not a good way. I know there's like moisturizers, like conditioner, Morocco oil stuff you can get for that. Don't use guys' feet for that, you know. But it was Jesus' feet, so Mary was her. And so Jesus had a very close and personal relationship with all three of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. And it actually says that Jesus loved all three of them, right? And so that's where we find ourselves in John 11. So Jesus was staying in Jerusalem. And the three homies, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, were all staying in Bethany. And this town was only about 2 miles away from Jerusalem, right? And so as Jesus is staying in Jerusalem, he gets a message from Lazarus' sister saying he's deathly ill. And so it's actually really funny because it's like a joke, because Jesus says that Lazarus isn't gonna die, but then he ends up dying, and it's just like God's awkward sense of humor, but he's perfect, right? So, okay, so if you take a look into the story of Lazarus, so Jesus hears word of Lazarus being deathly ill, and that he loves Lazarus so much, and he's only 2 miles away, right? But he stays put. He stays put for 2 more days in Jerusalem. And so it's very interesting to see how Jesus is described as loving Lazarus oh so deeply, but then he doesn't make a rush to go to one of his best friends while he's on his deathbed. But, that's how we would think, like, man, I gotta go to my friend, like he's dying, I'm the Son of God, I can go touch him, he's healed, right? But Jesus has a different mindset. That even as stories look hopeless, Jesus is the hope. That even as Jesus is walking towards death, he's doing so to heal. Sorry, I don't care if that's there. So as Jesus is taking his sweet time, right, the other disciples go ahead, they go towards Bethany. And so Jesus is like the last one to the party because he's the last one who's about to shut the party down, right? All right, yeah. I would like feedback. Talk to me. And so he meant to do so, right? He meant to be the last one there. It's because the raising of a dead man to life would display his power and glory more than just healing a sick man. And so as he arrives to the village of Bethany, Martha actually runs out to meet him, right? And she says this, Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. And so the first thing said to Jesus as he arrives to Bethany is he gets blamed for the death of her brother. And all this is happening. Her other sister, Mary, who was just found weeping at the foot of Jesus, asking for forgiveness, stayed put at their house because she was mad at him. So the first thing we see is Jesus is blamed, right? And so, but it's really funny how she did it because she did it in like a respectful way, so it was like a respectful roast type of thing. It was Bible jokes, that's right. And so Jesus being fully man, but yet fully God, imagine the emotions that must have been going through his mind. One of his best friends had just died. And then another one of his best friends is blaming him for that death. A lot of times we think, how in the world is Martha going to stand there and say, and point at God and say, oh, you're the cause for all my problems, right? But it's the same thing we do in our everyday lives, right? We tend to blame and curse God for our problems, but we don't even allow or even anticipate for God to do the work of his glory, even in the midst of our broken situations. And so Jesus calls for Mary, and she comes at once. And then the first thing she does is she falls at the foot of Jesus, and she starts weeping. She blames Jesus for the death of her brother. So within the same day, Jesus is blamed by 2 girls in one day, and that's the first thing that's said to Jesus, pretty much as he reaches Bethany. And so if you look at the last time Mary was found at the foot of Jesus, she was blessing him and asking for him for forgiveness, but now she's blaming him, right? Which just seems what we have to do in our lives. Well, at one second we're like, yes, Jesus, you're awesome. Thank you for this new car I got. But then once something bad in our life happens, we're like, I hate you, God. But we curse God. I don't want you, right? We only want the good stuff. And so Jesus actually, he asks to go to the tomb of Lazarus, right? He goes with Mary and Martha. And as they're all weeping, right? And this scene is oh so powerful that Jesus, like himself, is very moved. And he actually begins to weep himself. And yet, it seems like a very sad story, but even in the midst of our sadness and our sad stories, God is still at work. So later on, Jesus returned to the tomb of Lazarus, deeply moved once again with Mary and Martha. And he asked them to move the stone away, right? And people, like at this time, Lazarus started dead for 4 days, right? And so this scene is a pass or fail situation, right? So here's my imaginary tomb right here. It's right here. You guys see it? Imaginary. And so the pass is they roll the stone away, right? And Jesus calls out to Lazarus, Lazarus, come out of the grave. The people go crazy. Lazarus steps out. Like it's just an awesome display of God's glory and power. And that would be it. Or they fail. They roll the stone away. And Jesus calls out to Lazarus, Lazarus, come out of the grave, right? And they're kind of waiting a little bit, like looking around, like what's gonna happen. I imagine one of the disciples going in, like checking in, like this is me in the tomb. Like, hey, Lazarus is still dead. And then it's just an awkward situation. The disciples of Jesus peace out, it's awkward. And so they're
calls out to Lazarus, Lazarus, come out. Right? And the amazing happens. Lazarus is raised up from the dead, and the people rejoice. The glory of God is revealed in the resurrection of Lazarus. But this is a nice story and all, and we can take it for what it is. We go home, we go back to class. Cool story, Mason, right? But we all know that these stories have more meaning. They have way more meaning. They have impact on our lives, right? So switch us and Lazarus. Lazarus was dead. He was put in a tomb. He was wrapped in a bondage of cloth. That linen cloth that wrapped Lazarus in the tomb is like the sin that enwraps us. The personal struggle that wraps us into the jaws of death as well. We're dead. We've died a spiritual death and fallen away from God. We're trapped in the cloth of sin that's bound us in the tomb. But Jesus is calling us out of the grave, from a spiritual death, and he calls us to live. That just as Jesus called Lazarus out of the grave, he's doing so for you and me. This is the picture of salvation right here. And our story doesn't have to end like Mary thought it would. So Jesus is wanting to resurrect you. So in this story of rejoicing and disbelief, you may find yourself in one of two places. One, you are raised. Jesus called you out of the grave, just like he did to Lazarus, and you're no longer dead and enslaved to your sin. You're made alive together with Christ, right? That's what Ephesians 2 talks about. That you were dead in trespasses and sins in which you once walked, but by grace you have been saved through faith. That Jesus called you out of the grave and told you to come out of the tomb. And so if this is true, you need to reflect on what Jesus called you out of the grave to do. Stop living a life in which you were dead. Live every day as a person who is free and alive in Christ. See, a lot of times we get caught up in this TKA life. Yeah, I'm a Christian. It's awesome. But we never stop to think about God. We get caught up in the busyness, right? And then we have sports, we have fine arts, we have all this stuff, but we fail to realize that we're letting the sin that we used to be living to and dead to get right back to us, right? And so the second option is you witness the resurrection. You're married. You have your thoughts about God. You may not even think that he has the power to save you or to take you out of sin and death. But today I stand before you as a person who's been raised. And I've seen so many people who have been broken in their sin and have been raised out of that. This Jesus thing is real. He has transformed my life, and so many people I've seen come to the Lord. That he wants to offer you the happiness and forgiveness that this world can offer you. That this sinful life, yeah, it may seem fun for sometimes, like that next girl, that next guy, that next whatever, that next money. The more money you make, the more power you get. It's all temporary, guys. He desires for you to be alive. So much so, he would go to a cross, a bloody cross, beaten and mocked for your sake. That as he was hanging upon that cross, he saw your face. Not knowing whether or not you would choose him, but he saw your face. And he did it all out of love. Love for you. And so today, Jesus is calling. And all you have to do is respond. So right now, I'd like everyone to bow their heads, close their eyes. Today I want to give you a chance to respond to the calling of Jesus, right? That just as Lazarus was raised out of the grave, you can too. And so, if you never made that commitment to your life, you never committed yourself to Jesus, you never answered the call, please pray with me and pray something like this. Dear Heavenly Father, we recognize that we are in sin, God. We recognize that we can't save ourselves. We know that you went to the cross, Lord, for our sakes. That you went out of love. And Lord, we recognize that you went to that cross, you died, you were buried, but 3 days later you rose again. You were resurrected, Lord. And God, we know that you are our Lord and Savior. So please save me. And please, Lord, be with me for the rest of my life. Amen.
All right, awesome. It's possible that in one of the three, or all three, or two of the three, or whatever it so that God spoke to you in a specific way. Don't leave without having a conversation that's worthwhile. You know, your teachers are always available, stuff like that. Awesome job, hard work. Can we give it up one more time?